Hello, this is Dwayne with more good stuff you really ought to know. Today we're going to look at the locked hands block chord style. Locked hands block chord style. What do they call it, a thing like that? Well, it's because your hands move parallel. It's like your thumbs are locked together. They're really not, but they're gonna run close together. Okay? And what happens here is that you play the left hand in the melody. Let's say that you're playing Danny Boy. Well, listen. You see, that's the melody, isn't it? So you're playing the melody in the left hand, but you're also playing the melody in the right hand. Look at the top note. You see that? So you got a melody in the left hand and a melody in the right hand. Okay. Now, under the right hand melody, we put in the chords. Okay. Either you'll see it written that way, or if you know, once you know how to do this, you can do it yourself. Just put in whatever chords are appropriate for the song, okay? And to do that, you have to know what the primary chords are and what chord substitutions are and so on, right? You have to know quite a bit of stuff, but you're learning that, so. See, that's the sound you get. Now, the goal is to make that left hand stand up. And there's two ways you can do it. You can think about the left hand. Just focus on the left hand. Think about it. And as you think about it, it'll naturally stand out. I hope you can hear it standing out there. It is. In this room, I hope the tape recorder is picking it up. And the second thing you can do is you can emphasize it by sliding up to certain notes. You could do a kind of a slide into some of those notes, like you could go G, A, B quickly. Third, second, first. Sure. As I hit that E, I play D, D sharp, E. Whoops. That gives a little impetus to it, doesn't it? If you slide up to that bottom note. I wouldn't do it all the time because you could overdo it and it would sound sloppy. Okay. Now, does this style stand alone? Well, not really, not unless you have the luxury of playing with a group. If you play with a group, you do, because the drummer and the bass player and so on are going to fill up the gaps, okay? But if you're playing solo piano, which most of us have to do, it doesn't really stand alone. So you have to do some other things, and that's not the subject of this particular little hint. But you could use all your other arranging styles and just use this for part of it. Let me show you. See, I used it that far. I'm going to go back to it, but now I'm using another style. I'll come back to it here in a minute. And here I'm right back to it. Now I interject a run into the middle of it. I'm using the style now. Maybe I forgot how the song went. What kind of teacher am I anyway? Forget how the song goes as I'm illustrating. Okay, well you get the idea. Okay, that's the locked hands block chord style. More good stuff you really ought to know. You had another lesson there too, and that is no matter how advanced you get, you can make mistakes. We're all human, okay? So I'm going to leave that on just so you can enjoy the fellowship of mistakes. Bye-bye for now.
Hi, this is Dwayne again, and I'd like to tell you about a little book that I wrote a few years back. It's called Piano Chords and Chord Progressions, The Secret Backdoor to Exciting Piano Playing. And it's a terrific resource about chords. If you want to know more about chords, you ought to latch onto this book. It's just barely over $10, $11 I think it is. And it covers all the chords and chord progressions that I talk about in my videos. It's just a great, it's not a substitute for videos, of course, but or DVDs, but it's a great summary, and it's so inexpensive that it's well worth your while to get. here's a table of contents. You can just look down here and see all the things it covers. Starts out with major, minor, diminished, augmented, 6th, 7th, and on to 13th chords and suspensions and alterations, and then gets on to chord progressions and so on. So it's a very thorough book, and it's got a lot of illustrations. I'll just toggle through a little bit so you can, and there's the back cover. So it's worth your while to get. So hope you take advantage of that. Thank you. Bye bye for now.